So today I'm doing the rapid fire book tag as seen by Girl Reading and Jesse the Reader and many others. It's a bunch of rapid fire questions about books and I have to answer them as fast as I can. I have a hat with all the questions, so I don't know what order they're in. It's very rapid. Used books, yes or no? I say yes because I think there's always a story to every book. We were going through some books in my friend's basement one time and they have a copy of The Giver that's actually signed by Louis Laurie and has a note written in it, and it's so cool. It's something I just picked up at a shop. A book you want everyone to read. Now, of course I want to say Red Rising, but I kind of don't because that's my special book, so I don't want everyone to read it. But I would say Red Rising, otherwise The Night Circus. I think everyone should read The Night Circus. Online or in store? This is hard for me because I really like going into bookstores and just browsing, but online can make it so much easier and you can get really good deals, and I'm all about finding them deals. Heroes or villains? I have to say villains. I love a good villain. Heroes are great, but when the villain is really well crafted, it's absolutely incredible and makes the whole story so much more interesting. Paperback versus hardback. Oh, this is hard because paperbacks are so aesthetically pleasing and they're sturdy and hard and you can carry them anywhere, but then paperbacks are easier to carry with you and they don't cost as much, but they're also like flimsy and can get damaged easier. So without taking into consideration money or anything like that, I'd say hardback. Trilogy versus series. I have to say series because I like drawn out stories where there's always so much information, but if a trilogy is really well written, like Red Rising, then it's completely worth it, and I think if it's done well, it's absolutely awesome, but I like series. First three books you think of: Red Rising, The Night Circus, Aragon. Ebooks versus physical books. Physical books. I had a Nook for a while, but then it's just become my mom's because she reads incredibly fast and doesn't care as much about actually holding a book, whereas I am very much into that connection with a book. Movie or TV you liked more than the book? I can't really think of any that I liked more. I can think of some that I liked just as much. Could I say Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Because technically it's just this tiny little book, and then there's the screenplay. So I'll go with that. Judge a book by its cover? I have before, and I would be lying if I say I haven't. Long versus short books. Long books if they need to be long, and then I really like them because they're really in-depth and there's so much development. Like Aragon or Game of Thrones, those series need to be long, but realistic fiction and literary fiction I don't think need to be 700 pages long. Underrated. An underrated book. I think Daughter of Smoke and Bone is pretty underrated, and I really love that series, so go read it by Lonnie Taylor. Last book you finished. I think the last book I completely finished was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and it's fantastic. Weirdest bookmark. I'm pretty sure I've used different kinds of food. I know I've used a fork. Last book you bought. The last book I bought was The Secret History of Wonder Woman, and I'm really excited to read this. Borrow or buy? Buy? Unless I'm only feeling so-so about the book, then I will borrow it or I'll get it from the library, but for the most part, I like to have books, especially if I end up really liking them. Books that make you laugh or make you cry? I have to say cry, because it can either be from sadness or from anything, or even I have laughed so hard that I make myself cry and my family is looking at me like, what the heck is wrong with you? Series versus standalone. If it needs to be a series, make it a series. Don't leave a standalone on a cliffhanger or with an unresolved ending, because that's the worst. But on average, series. Long versus short chapters. I think just like sentence length, a variety can be really cool and make a big impact, but on average, I like short chapters even if there's a lot of them. Audiobooks? I've actually started to like audiobooks a little more. I've been reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and I've started to actually listen to it online, just because if I have to be reading it for school or something like that, I can do it at a faster pace because you can always set the tempo and it just works for me. So I'm not completely impartial to audiobooks. I think it really depends though on the narrator, because I have listened to a version of Red Rising and I'm like, character versus plot. I think the characters make the plot. You can have a really good plot and it can be really developed and everything like that, but if your characters aren't developed and don't change, then it's gonna be kind of boring. So for me, I think the characters are extremely important. And finally, book to movie or book to TV. I think I have to say book to movie just because I haven't really seen many book to TV shows. I don't watch Shadowhunters or Game of Thrones yet because I've been reading it. And I think that every book to movie adaptation that I have seen, there are few that have really upset me. I think the majority are pretty satisfying. That's all for today, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I really liked making it. I love doing tags and questions and things like that. So if you want to see more of this, let me know if you have any suggestions or things like that. And I hope you guys had as much fun with this as I did, and remember to subscribe below, and my links to social media are in the description, and let me know what you think of this and when you want more. And I hope you guys have a great week, so keep reading, keep watching, tell your friends, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you soon. Bye!